You going to mug me?
Am I going to mug you?
Is that gorgeous or what, eh?
And I believe I can run a decent marathon.
Download Veely now.
Tonight on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
He loves you so much. I'm now learning how to be a mum. What a mum is meant to be.
All right.
It's the end of an emotional and challenging week for our families at the House of Tiny Tearaways. At the end of today, they'll be returning home. So have they learnt enough to turn their lives around and be rid of their parenting problems forever? Three desperate families, each overwhelmed by parenting problems that have turned their toddlers into tearaways. They're going to be living here for just 6 days in the hope that they can turn their lives around. The person they're looking to for the answers is clinical psychologist Dr. Tanya Byron.
Working with 3 families in such an intense environment is unlike anything I've ever done professionally before, and it is a huge challenge. I'm working with the parents, I'm working with their children, and I'm building a community. It's a tough job to do in a very, very short space of time.
And for the families selected to be part of this programme, this is make or break. This is the House of Tiny Tearaways. It's the last day in the House of Tiny Tearaways. The Baileys are finishing their packing.
Cameo! Right, that is it.
At the beginning of the week, single mum Lisa Bailey couldn't cope with her unruly 3-year-old twins, Cameo and Carone. Bedtimes were a nightmare, with the boys often refusing to go to bed before midnight. Over the week, Tanya has helped Lisa to implement a more structured bedtime routine, with the twins settling much earlier and sleeping in beds instead of cots for the first time. Tanya has also shown Lisa how to interact with the boys more positively, which has resulted in a dramatic improvement in their behaviour. But will Lisa be able to continue the good work once she leaves?
He's saying no, so stop it. Now you can sit in here for 2 minutes and calm down.
Hammer. What are you doing in here anyway?
Just finishing packing.
Oh, did you finish?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, come on out now.
Oh.
And you were not going to do that again because you will come back inside. Now calm down. When he's saying no, he means no. Where's your shoes? All right, he's saying sorry.
Mummy, lift me him.
Okay, that's it. Oh, good boys. Oh, look at that.
Cameo and Carone Bailey at home wreak havoc. We've seen footage of them. They run around, they would go to sleep at midnight. How have they changed in the house?
I think they've changed a huge amount. They started changing quite early on. I think it's taken Lisa longer, but I think these boys are much better behaved, are in a really good sleep routine, are listening to their mother more because of the way their mother is now parenting them, and I think generally are much more controllable, which is exactly what Lisa wanted.
We've just seen Lisa have to carry out another time out. How did she handle it?
What I think is very important about that timeout, and I am going to mention it to Lisa when I see her, is the timeout occurred in the kind of situation that I think is very much what's going to happen at home. It's confined space, a lot of them on top of each other, not very much to do, getting a bit bored. That whole timeout and the space in which it occurred represents for me exactly what needs to happen when she goes home, and if she can do it in the room like that, I feel very confident she'll do it when she goes home.
It's the final breakfast for all the families. Ian and Tina Wilson continue to present new foods to their son Max. Along with his usual yoghurt, they've given him some toast and a strawberry.
Max, can you smell it? Smell it? Clever boy.
What's in it?
Strawberries.
Not strawberries.
Can you kiss your strawberry?
It's a cold.
I was on a roll there.
3-year-old Max's diet consisted of up to 24 pots of yoghurt a day, and any attempts by his parents, Ian and Tina, to give him otherwise were met with massive tantrums. This week there have been small but significant breakthroughs, with Max starting to feed himself, tasting a variety of new foods and eating carrot for the first time. Tanya has helped Tina and Ian address their own anxious behaviour and be more assertive with their son, which has seen some huge improvements in Max's behaviour at the table.
You're going to go in your bedroom.
All week, the Wilsons have been using a sticker chart as an incentive for Max to join in the food.
You want
Strawberry yogurt and a strawberry.
You wanted to sit there, but I forgot to swap the chairs. Pass me some of that bread after, please.
That's it.
Very good. Jelly. Daddy wants jelly too.
Not yet.
What's that called?
Chopped up strawberries.
Yeah.
No, look. Max, watch.
Lick your strawberry like me and we'll get you a sticker. That one. Lick it. Good boy! Let's go do your sticker. Licked a strawberry.
Did you?
Yay, clever boy.
When Max Wilson arrived at the house, he would basically only eat yoghurt. He sat at the table with his blanket, he cried from the moment he arrived, he was very moany, he was very clingy with mum and dad. What are you seeing now when you look at this 3-year-old?
He was eating 140 yoghurts a week of a particular brand in a particular pot with a particular picture on the front. He is now enjoying a much more varied diet. There are two aspects to Max's problem and the way we've dealt with it. One is the actual behaviour at meal times, and one is the food and the diet itself. Now, as far as the behaviour goes, I think Ian and Tina very quickly recognised that Max was very controlling and this was behavioural and it was all about tantrums and getting his own way. And as soon as they got that and became more assertive and much more firm with him, the comfort blanket went, which was at the table. He was made to sit in his chair, which he did. He was made to feed himself, which he now does. He was made to use whatever bowl, spoon, plate or cup was put in front of him, which he's now fine with. It's a huge shift for a little boy who has had an incredibly restricted diet, very lazy way of eating, being fed yoghurt, which is as if he was still a 4-month-old at the first stage of weaning, and a child who really has never heard the word no around food and meal times before he came into this house. He's definitely on the right path, without a doubt.
Today.
Liz Walton is washing up while Giles is looking after daughter Alyssa.
Okay. Daddy is supposed to be watching you.
Yes, Daddy is watching you here.
She's getting herself a lollipop.
That's fine. Not bad anymore, Alyssa, once you've had that one. Do you want me to open it for you?
Yeah.
Do you want to bring it over here and I'll open it for you? Yeah? No.
You'll have to come here to her. She wants to be over here. You'll have to come and get her rather than just crawl her over.
The Waltons came to the House of Tiny Tearaways desperate for help with Alyssa's demanding nighttime behaviour, which was proving exhausting for Mum Liz and Dad Giles. But by persisting with the rapid return technique, Alyssa's sleep routine has been transformed. Tanya has also worked on the couple's relationship and encouraged Giles to be more assertive in his parenting.
Mummy can't open it at the moment.
Mummy's got wet hands.
So either Daddy opens it or you don't get it. Fine, don't get it then.
I need dinner.
You're turning back into the old jars that wants to just sit down and call her over. Remember, all week you've been really good and you've been going to her and doing things with her, not just shouting to her from across the room.
How has their relationship changed? Liz said to you that she didn't even trust Giles with her daughter and that she wanted her to herself and didn't want to share her daughter with her fiancé. How has that changed?
The behaviour is one thing, the story behind the behaviour is another. And the story behind Alyssa's behaviour was very much around the conception and the pregnancy, and Giles's extreme negative reaction and his inability to accept that he was going to become a father until Alyssa was almost 2 months old. I think that had never been talked about, but there was a lot of unspoken and unresolved anger and sadness from both of them. And I think yesterday, when they had their time to think about the whole issue and to, I suppose, apologise to each other really for that time, I think that's going to free up a lot of things for both of them and make the partnership much more equal.
Ian Wilson is playing with the Bailey boys,
I'm stuck. Okay.
while Lisa Bailey
Wednesday
joins
night,
Tanya for the last
Because
time.
Look, let's talk about the week. Today's Friday, you're going to be going
Yeah.
soon.
I believe it.
It's gone
It
fast.
has. It's gone so quick.
And what a journey it's been for you.
Yeah,
And the
tough one.
process it's been tough.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to break up until Wednesday night.
Okay.
Because every single time we talked, you sat there going, yeah, and you'd leave
But I didn't get it
the
yet,
chat,
did I? Yeah.
and you'd do a bit, and then you'd be like, oh, and it would all fall apart again.
I know. I don't know, I just thought that I don't want to hear you say that to me, that I'm not going to be able to, manage it. That does kind of think, I've come here for you to help me, and then it's like you're thinking I'm going to fail, and that's not nice. To know that, you don't believe in me, and I believe that I can do it, and I will do it.
Right.
And I don't need to prove to anybody else apart, to myself.
Exactly. But up until Wednesday night, you were doing it for me.
For you, yeah.
And then on Wednesday night,
yeah.
I annoyed you by saying, I don't think you can do this.
Yeah.
And you thought, I'll show her.
Yeah,
And now who are
definitely.
you doing it for?
Yeah, I know.
Would you like to see how
Yeah.
far you've come?
Okay.
Okay, so have a look at this.
And look, you're flipping mic again. How many times have I got to put it on you? Stand there. Silly. No, pick up the toys now. I'm not having it. Pick them up because you want to get dressed and go outside. Gosh, I'm just so bossy and... Hurry up, you're too slow. Oh my gosh, ain't I horrible? Gosh, I'm awful, I feel like crying. Oh gosh, I really like them, my children.
No,
Oh my gosh. Why are you making me cry? This is supposed to be a happy day.
Because it is. You'll be crying at the end, but you'll be crying with happiness. But you need to see
Yeah.
where you started, because I'm telling you, you have made quite a big transformation.
And I just walked away like to say, do as I said, I don't want to see you, or, oh my gosh, that's awful.
But he wasn't really doing anything wrong, was he?
Not really, no.
And little
No,
Cairo,
I
he was trying to
know.
help you at bedtime.
I know.
Got a smack in the head.
Oh my gosh.
Has that shocked you?
Yeah, it has. A lot. I've just been like this for so many years. Speaking to them like that, have I really damaged them in some kind of way?
You've got 4 kids aged from 3 to 12.
Yeah.
You've got very little support. Life's been tough. It's been tough. And you've got beautiful children who are not damaged at all. Because yesterday what we saw was, as soon as you interacted with them positively, they were extraordinary. You've so changed.
Yeah.
But the point is, the boys are so used to a different kind of parenting.
Yeah.
They will challenge you. You will go back to the flat and it will be hard for
Yeah,
a while.
yeah.
Because they will really test you. You have to get your routine in place. You have to get up with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You have to get your head down, get through the day with all the techniques we've talked about.
Yeah.
But the next clip I've got for you is a good clip.
Okay.
It's about how positive and how well you can interact with the boys and how brilliantly you're beginning to do.
Shall I do
Oh,
some?
look, more imagination now.
this one.
Wow. Yeah, ride the bus. And let's sing. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and drive the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. Gosh, Carol really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Play is a really important part of child
Development, yeah.
child development, absolutely, and not just in terms of cognitive development and information processing and all the things that go along with that, but also in terms of the relationship between parents and children. So the more you play with the boys, not only are you giving them positive interaction, but you're improving the bond that you have with them.
Okay.
And I think one of the reasons, and just thinking back to the beginning when we saw the footage from home, that your boys used to run around the flat like lunatics until midnight, is because they were unstimulated and bored. Children need stimulation in order to develop and grow, and if we don't provide it for them, they will provide it for themselves. The boys being trapped in the flat with you all day watching DVDs, they were getting nothing. You were feeling miserable and bored, so you were negative with them, and that's how the whole thing cooks up.
Yeah, I know.
Haven't you done well this week?
I have done really well, because I would never have thought, you know, that I was the problem in the first place. And obviously, you know, like, I feel guilty. Well, I don't want to feel guilty, and I'm feeling okay. The other evening, like, you know, I was a bit upset that I feel guilty, but then I can't be walking around with guilt for the rest of my life, because then, you know, it's not going to do any good, is it? You know, I can only I can only just make it up to them or do better. I just feel so bad. I've just been a horrible parent, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm a good parent, but then I was, but not in the right way.
What you've done for the twins, you can do for the other two. And I want you just to look at how difficult it is to be Cairo sometimes, so that you remember.
Yeah, okay.
So here it is.
Eat your burger, eat some rice. No, you don't deserve none after what you've put me through. No, sorry.
He doesn't get very much praise because
I know. No! No! Thank you for holding on, Cam. Carol, are you okay in there? Good boy.
I'm gonna sleep here with you, yeah? I'm gonna sleep here so you can go to sleep. Lie down. Lie down. Give us welcome.
Oh, Lord. Oh, bless him.
So don't. He drifts into the background and he gets your attention when you say, Cairo, get this, do that, do that. Oh, sad.
That's true, yeah, you're right. When I want him to do something, you're right. Gosh, why did you say that?
Did you not want me to say that?
No, it's fine, but it's true. It's true. Do you know what I mean? It's just so hard to give all four of them attention, but then when you're not getting none, and then the attention you're getting is to be told to do something, it's not nice, is it?
But even just when he's sitting nicely eating, you know, Cairo, you're my best boy.
Yeah.
A kiss on the top of the head. When the twins are in bed, right, this is Mummy and Cairo time.
Oh gosh, that's awful. I need to give him a hug. Cairo.
You can give him a hug in a second because we're nearly done. Okay. He loves you so much. This has been quite an emotional journey, hasn't it? Oh, sweetheart. Sweetheart. You've got a tough job. You're being both parents to 4 kids on your own. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I think when this happens, it really, really clicks in your head, and I think this is what makes the changes. This is what makes the changes. It's about believing inside yourself that you can parent your child.
Yep, and I can.
Okay, well, I'm just going to show you one more thing. This is at the beginning of the week. You said something to me that worried me, and I want you to watch yourself say it, and then I want you to tell me whether you still think in the same way.
Okay.
Okay? All right, here we go. What's been in my head is, what on earth is going to happen to Lisa when she goes home? Is she strong enough to be able to continue what she's been doing here in that place where she feels quite down a lot of the time?
I will try, and I want to do it 100%, but then who knows, you know, whether or not I can just, you know, just feel like, oh, I can't be bothered anymore, I feel to give up. Oh no. That's awful. How can I be so selfish, say that, just thinking of myself? I can't believe I said that. I'm not going to be at no.
So that's
breaking
not
point or
Lisa
anything.
now?
No, but not at all. Not at all. I've changed for the best.
Has it been a good week?
It has been a good week. It's been tough, you know, and it's been hell, and it's hurt, and happy, sad, but I'm happy now. And I ain't gonna let you down, Tanya. I'm not gonna let myself down.
I believe
Not
you.
at all.
I believe you.
I can't do it. I'm not going back to the old Lisa. I'm sorry.
Ian Wilson is reading with son Max and Corone Bailey.
Mother,
A dinosaur.
mother,
It's a dinosaur.
it's there.
That's another dinosaur.
Was that mama?
It's a brown dinosaur.
Mother,
That's a rainbow dinosaur.
mother,
It's a dinosaur again.
that monster.
Yeah, that's like you and your brother
That
fighting.
monster.
Yeah, dinosaur.
I only want to read it.
We read it all together. Yeah?
I only want to read it first.
Yeah, but we're reading it all
I
together.
only want to read it.
What are we on about sharing?
I want to read it.
On to the page.
No, I wanted this.
Max, you're not going to tempt it. I don't want you reading all over me.
Turn the
No?
page. Turn it.
No, Corone's turning the pages. It's a dinosaur. So he wants to read them all?
Oh, what are them people doing outside?
It's a dinosaur.
Men doing outside. Really?
That's a red and purple and yellow dinosaur. Eh? Yeah, dinosaur.
Tanya set up one final activity for the families. The Baileys will be making handprints in plaster, while the Wilsons and Waltons will be painting the ones they made yesterday. Tanya has provided everyone with protective overalls, but Max Wilson is putting up a real struggle as his parents try to put his on.
That's one leg in.
When you've got Max in there, obviously a little bit mucky, getting stuck in and enjoying himself, as we can see he is at the moment. And Giles, I'd like to see you lead this play, if that's all right. Yes?
You snowman.
Cool. All right, enjoy yourselves. I'll see you a bit later on.
Hang on there.
Right, sit in there till you can stop crying.
Tina puts Max into time out for 3 minutes, 1 minute for each year of his life.
Mummy put you in there because you were being a silly boy and having a tantrum. Now, would you like to come out and do your painting? Would you like to come and do your painting?
I'm tired. I'm tired, Mummy.
Come on. Come on. Stand up then and walk. Come on. I can't carry you because I've got... Good boy. Good boy. Would you like a cuddle? Yeah? Right, cuddle.
With Max's tantrum over, all the families settle into painting and making handprints.
Now you've painted it.
want green? There you go then.
What do you mean to look at it? She's coming to do yours,
Well done.
Is that
That
right?
looks good, doesn't it? Should we leave you with the green
What about
then?
yours?
Oh, done. Good boy. Hey.
Good boy. Karonzi's all done.
Let me see. Mine. Is it? Look. That's my red, Mum.
Oh my gosh, mine's gone too hard now. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Camille, wait, Camille's is getting hard. I'm not. Camille, look, let me just smooth it now. Let's smooth it down together, darling. This hasn't worked. This is a disaster.
Max, look at Alyssa. Ooh, kneel down or sit down or something. Right. Put your handy just here. Ready?
Swap you.
Right, same place. That's a good idea.
Now don't you paint some up here?
Yay! We'll get some wipes after. Let's do a different colour at the other side. What colour do you want? Blue?
Tanya, why did you set up this activity for the families on the last day?
I think it's very symbolic to leave your handprint in a place that has had so much meaning for you. But I think there are different aspects to this for all of the families. Looking at the Waltons now, this is about whether Giles can lead the play.
She wants to do it with her hand.
You want to do it on your hand?
Can I have some yellow, please?
No. She's using yellow.
It's really seeing that Giles and Liz can kind of jointly work with Alyssa, and that Alyssa isn't automatically managed by her mum, whether it's through play or any other kind of activity.
It's not going to work, but she's not got everything covered. Let me do it. Give me a
Max,
hand.
that's great. Look
Give me a
at
hand.
yours.
We've got Max getting messy with paint. He couldn't do that at all when he came into the house, very much linked to his fear of new foods and eating. Started off with a bit of a timeout, very effectively managed by Tina. He refused to put on his little dungaree protective suit, and now, as we see, he's merrily painting and getting messy, which is fantastic.
That's massive progress for Max,
Huge.
isn't it? I mean, let's just remember that at first when you were introducing him to painting or getting messy, he just really couldn't do it. He recoiled. And now, look at him.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's also, if you look at the way he's holding the paintbrush, he looks like a proper toddler there, holding onto his paintbrush with a really nice grip, really good grip, and just not having a problem at all with the paint, with the colour, with the mess.
What did you expect to see with the Bailey family who were sitting up at the table?
Chaos.
Did you?
Yes. Do you remember at the beginning of the week they made cakes and it all got a bit sort of difficult and tricky? We've got these three boys sitting there, beautifully behaved amongst an awful lot of mess. Mum totally in control. She looks happy. She's smiling. She's attending to each of them, and fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That for me is a real journey.
Wait, Camille, wait. What does wait mean? Wait. Show Mummy how good you can wait. Right, put your hand here. And you mustn't touch it after, okay?
Lisa Bailey is looking after Alyssa Walton while her parents join Tanya for their final consultation.
Do you feel ready to leave the house?
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you say yes?
Because we like Lisa, we've come a long way since entering the house, if you like.
Things have changed a lot, haven't they?
They have.
How have they changed?
Alyssa's grown up a lot. We've learned an awful lot that we can take home and put into practice, not just with Alyssa, but with Josh and with ourselves. Things to change when we get home, so instead of being stuck in that rut we were in with all the problems, we can iron everything out and have that happy ever after.
What changes have you seen in Liz, Giles? You've said about stepping back.
Yeah, stepping back, that's the big thing, letting me do a lot of spending time with Alyssa, putting her to bed and things like that. That's been nice.
And does Alyssa love you less because you've been with her less and done less for her?
She's just the same, as she was, isn't she? She loves me just as much.
What would you say to parents who maybe are experiencing similar difficulties, maybe that they are having a trouble separating from their child or contemplating separating from their child? What would you say to them? What would you advise them?
If you really love your child, then you have to let them grow up, because the difference between holding them back and letting them suffer, that doesn't mean that you love your child. That means that you're being selfish. And to let them go and to see them grow, it feels so much nicer inside than that panic.
Do you think you were being selfish?
Yeah, very. I think it was more for me. It was all about my feelings for her and my need to feel that she loved me, whereas she did anyway, and I didn't need to hold tight to her to see that.
It's a big emotional turnaround for you. I mean, it's almost a complete rotation and face the other direction.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was like when you were at home? Would you like me to...
Barely now.
Would you like to be reminded?
Yeah.
Shall we... I've got a number of clips here because I want to show you your journey. I think you've made incredible progress this week. This is the Walton household at bedtime before you came into the house.
Baby, mummy's here. Can I hear for anything from 5 minutes to 45 minutes at a time? Oh God, I remember doing that.
Lots of screaming. I mean, it was kind of... Evenings were hell on earth for you, weren't they?
Yeah, really were, weren't they? It was all about her. I couldn't be myself. I was purely her. You know, she was limpet stuck to me.
But she was stuck to you because...
Because I was holding her there.
Absolutely. And what was fascinating to me was the way she learnt to cope with nighttime. But the first night was an absolute nightmare. Do you remember that, Giles? Will you ever forget it? Will you ever forget the first night?
No.
Will you forget the key numbers of that night, the number of minutes it took you to settle her?
52 minutes.
52 minutes. And how many settles?
36, I think it was.
36. Let's just remind ourselves what it was like.
Oh, please. You can do it, Giles.
No, I didn't say it.
Well done.
She tucked herself in. You didn't have to go in.
Oh, was that hard? Oh.
It was a tough night,
It
and
was, yeah.
I don't always stay with parents, but I stayed with you because I knew she put up a big fight, and I felt it was going to be hard for both of you. And you had your head in your hands a couple of times, and your heart was breaking. And you came out of that room and you had a very emotional cuddle. And then we sat in here for a while and you said, oh, I think I've been really cruel. I think maybe she won't love me anymore. And the next morning she was...
She couldn't care less. She wasn't bothered. There was no heartbreak for her. You know, she just wanted her own way. And when she was told no and finally accepted that, she went to sleep.
Penny dropped. So actually you've achieved more than you actually thought you'd ever achieve.
Gosh, yeah.
We're happy with sleep. You know what you're doing when you go home. Prepare yourself. She might be a bit worse tonight because she's back in the familiar environment where she knows she's got you on the floor. But you know what to do. Persist, persist, persist.
And when we go home now, things will be completely different because I will not jeopardise my child's development just because of, you know, it doesn't matter what I feel, it's not going to happen.
Because of your emotional issues. And the anxiety that you had led you to be really overprotective to the point that, Giles, you were always being elbowed out of the way. Very split.
Yeah.
Very split, and also not really sort of having a voice as a parent. Not really, if you did say anything, it wasn't really being listened to.
Not really.
And it was almost as if there was a sort of parent-child relationship between the two of you at times, where you were the one always in charge and you just had to kind of follow along and be a good boy for a quiet life. You said to me, I can't be assertive with Liz because I don't want to upset her. Now, I want to show you a clip of where I see that happening. So have a look at this one. Have a look at this.
Will you have some?
Yes.
You can have CRISPSs later. If you have them at the table with all the kids, they'll want it. Giles!
Okay.
What's this united front?
Yes.
Not you being
United
two.
front. Do you want
This
me to...
annoys me
Right.
now. And Tanya, like I said, we're trying to do this united front. Was you having a paddle? You did it on the trampoline yesterday. You're doing it now. You do it at home. You've got to stop being two. Otherwise, I'll treat you like her.
Right, okay.
You want me to back you up? Stop acting like she does.
Right, okay. Can I have these cheese now? Show you.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Tyrant. God, that looked horrible. Don't like that. Don't like me like that. You're not my child.
The only way that dynamic is going to successfully shift is if you stop behaving like the child in the relationship and you stop behaving like the mother.
Definitely.
I'm really aware, Giles, that you left your mum to be with Liz. You never left home before you met Liz.
Correct.
Are you next year, when you're getting married to Liz, are you going to marry another mum?
No, I'm going to marry my wife. My fiancée, the one I love.
What would you say, leaving the house, you both feel has been at the core of this inability for you to unite, for you to behave like an adult parent, for you to stop treating your husband like a child, and for you to shape your daughter to be able to sleep up until you came here? What prevented that?
Our can of worms. Our skeletons in our closet. The past.
Do you want to revisit a little bit of that?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a big moment, but I think it's important that you see it once more before you leave. Okay.
Sometimes I feel like that now, that you're here because you feel you have to be, because it's the right thing to do, not because you want to be, and not because you love us or anything.
I didn't know you were obviously harbouring... I knew you were harbouring all the thoughts, but actually didn't know they were, I don't know, hurting you that much.
Are you worried that you might have done something that could have caused irreparable damage?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
I sat through the whole pregnancy while you were hurting me and put up with all that without once telling you. Do you really think I'm ever going to leave? If that isn't going to push me away, what on earth are you going to have to do to get rid of me? You silly boy.
And you were sweating and sweating and pale.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by your emotional response to that whole...
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Obviously, because I don't show emotion. So, yeah, I was very surprised.
But that's something we're working to change, aren't we?
Yeah, we need to, yeah.
We're going to open up.
Open up, backing each other up.
We're going to speak. We're going to be grown-ups.
Show emotions and things.
We're going to be grown-up, aren't we? And respect each other equally within every part of our lives. Yeah.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for having...
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having the courage to come in here. I don't think it's in your nature, Giles, to do anything like this at all.
No, it isn't.
I had to talk him into it.
Yeah, but what it shows me is how much you did care. You do care about this little girl.
I can't thank you enough. You've saved our lives. You know, to a certain extent. You might have even saved our relationship, and you know, in further years from some kind of deterioration, because this could have all been left, and it means an awful lot.
Cameo Bailey and Max Wilson are playing together.
Ta-da! Made it. Made it.
No.
Alyssa, you lick your hoop.
Alyssa Walton is having potato hoops. Liz and Giles Walton try and encourage Max Wilson to join in.
Alyssa's eating all
Do you see what Alyssa does with hers, Max? She puts them on her fingers. Show Max what you do. Put some on her fingers like that, Max. And then she puts them in her mouth.
Can you lick yours? You can kiss it. And lick it.
Sit down.
Ian and Tina are having their final consultation with Tanya.
What a week it's been.
Tell me about it.
The week you expected?
No,
No.
not at all.
What were you expecting then from this week?
When I came in, I thought you were going to come in, eating dinner, because that's what I thought. That's what I thought was wrong with him. Just didn't eat. But now, I don't.
So now what do you see?
There's a lot of issues deep inside that we didn't talk about.
Absolutely. So you bring in the behaviour problem, which is Max and food. And actually, it was a big, huge problem. Do you remember how bad it was? Do you?
Not really.
Do you want to see? Do you want to be
Yeah.
reminded? Have a look. This is what you brought into the house, okay? This is the problem.
Come and try some. Why? Why won't you eat any? Look, try a little bit. Who's on your plate?
Has that shocked you? Just
Yeah,
saying.
because like, it's changed so much last 5 days. Forgot all about that.
It really was a terrible problem. To the point that when you came in on Sunday and I opened the fridge and there were 100 and something yogurts in there, you just broke out into tears.
It's still hard knowing that he doesn't eat and he doesn't eat as well as other children.
But he's accepting it though.
But he's accepting it and he's willing to sit at the table just to progress on that for a start.
It wasn't just food, it was the whole process of eating. It was sitting in a chair, sitting at a table. Anything to do with mealtimes for him was full of anxiety and tension. And why was he so anxious and tense?
Because we were.
Just be reminded of exactly that.
You're going to eat your rice? You're going to eat your rice?
Yeah, Mummy, eat your rice.
Have a little bit then. Eat some rice and then you can have Mummy. You're going to sit in this chair? Constantly badgering him, talking to him.
Eat your rice. Do you want to eat your rice? Will you eat your rice? Do you want this toy? Do you want that toy? Sit on your chair. If we were having dinner together and I was doing that to you, wouldn't you just grab something and wrap it round your head and start having a tantrum? In his face.
It's just like you don't realise you're doing it.
Are you going to descend into a pit of I'm such a rubbish mother?
No.
Good. Let's not forget that it's only 5 days ago that was going on. And as soon as you changed your behaviour, what happened?
Max changed.
Max changed. Max has changed. Shall we see how he's changed?
Could you bite Mummy a carrot? Come bite it. Good boy! Good boy! That's very good. Good boy, yeah!
You clever boy!
Excellent. And a strawberry this morning.
Yeah.
Now this is a child who wouldn't put anything in his mouth unless it was liquid. Anyway. And now he's picking it up, he's licking it and he's putting it down.
He's accepting it now.
So that's the food. But it wasn't just about food.
No, don't like getting dirty.
Cleanliness, not liking getting dirty. So Wednesday I sent you out to crawl around the forest floor and collect bugs.
Yeah.
Now that happened.
Hey! No, with your hand. No, you're like this, mate. Move, move. Like this.
So your child was jumping around in a puddle, splashing around, picking up worms, and you recognise the difference. You recognise the difference.
Definitely more relaxed now. You start to look at life differently.
How are you looking at life differently?
I've got to start enjoying it for myself.
Enjoying life?
Yeah, which I haven't.
I know you haven't.
So, because I need to do that, I can take Max and can do it together as a family.
Don't rely on Max to make you feel good about yourself.
No. I'm going to start taking more time for myself now. Because I had so much of my past that carried on with me. I involved Max with everything. I think Max to me was a security blanket.
He was your comfort blanket, yeah.
But now I've got to start leaving Max to explore and grow up with other children. And I've got to do it myself. I've got some growing up to do. Because I've been wrapped up in this little child and never grown up because I didn't know how to.
You have had some pretty major events occur in your life that you had no control over, and you didn't ask for your dad to die, and he died a few weeks ago, didn't he? It's not your fault. None of it was your fault. None of it was your fault.
I'm now learning how to be a mum. what a mum is meant to be.
What is a mum meant to be?
A loving, caring person.
I do want to talk to you a bit, Ian, if that's all right. I do want to talk to you because when you very first came in, you walked in on the Sunday and you said, "Oh, no, I'm not really anxious, it's her." But actually, while Tina was shedding the tears, you were sitting there stressed out of your head. What did you do when your son put some food in his mouth for the first time in this house?
I cried. When I first came in this week, I didn't feel I was a good parent. I really didn't. Doing that.
You didn't think you were a good parent?
No.
You thought you were a bad parent?
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was to be a parent. The father figure, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do.
And why didn't you know what it was to be a father figure?
Because I never had one.
Are you a good father?
Oh yeah, definitely, no. Definitely.
Were you a good father?
Yeah. I just didn't see it. Didn't we? You didn't see it either.
Oh, thank goodness you said that. You intuitively know how to be a father. And it's interesting, not just to your son, but every boy in this house. They've been stuck to you like glue all week. I think those 3 boys have benefited being with you for a week. It's been quite a huge week for you, and I think it's all centred around what it is to be a dad.
It's been the best 5 days, 6 days, hasn't it?
Best 6 days of what?
Of being a mum and dad.
Yeah.
Very briefly, just as a kind of round up what this week has meant and what you're going to take away.
It's made us a family.
A stronger family.
It's made us aware that we were a good mum and dad.
All the time. We're just too anxious.
We can go home now and we can build on from where we've left here and know that the direction we're going is the right direction.
As their journeys in the house come to an end, it's time for our families to say goodbye.
See you later, yeah? Leave your bags.
Liv, can say bye. Say bye to your little friend. Give her a hug.
And you as well.
Take care.
Big wave.
Bye.
Big cheer. Yay, let's go. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Listen, you've been amazing.
Thank you.
What makes a difference to your boys? Gosh. You do.
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I do, yeah.
And you've done brilliantly.
Thank you very much.
Keep positive.
I will
Keep
do.
smiling. Keep upbeat.
Every day.
Keep the routines.
I will do every day.
The Baileys are leaving the house and they're going back home. Are they going to be all right?
If you'd asked me that 2 days ago, I would have been not sure. Lisa came in with a lot of self-doubt as a mum, and I think still has some way to go to really believe that she is an effective parent. But I think this journey for her will have been extraordinary, and I think when she goes home and she can process what she's done and what she's achieved, she will recognise she has done really, really amazing things, and her boys have really benefited.
We're going home today.
For the holiday.
So it's been a good experience.
It's been a good experience.
And Tanya's helped us a lot.
And Tanya's helped us a lot. I'm gonna miss her.
Okay, I'll say a few words now. Yes, it's our last day today in the house. It's going to be a shame to leave, but obviously, you know, I've been here for a reason, and just want to say thank you very much for everything you've done. You know, the boys love you. We love you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
What a week it's been.
Yeah.
A little girl who now can settle herself off to sleep and is almost sleeping through the night. Thank you very much for coming in.
No,
being
thank
so
you.
brave.
For having us.
Keep up the good work around sleep.
Yeah.
Stay united.
We will.
And have a wonderful wedding.
Thank you.
The Waltons are leaving the house. What worries, if any, do you have for them?
I think the dynamic in their relationship it's a big issue. The issue of Liz treating Giles like a child, Giles allowing himself to be treated like a child. And obviously in a relationship where there are actually children, that can be a real problem. And we've seen it for both Liz and Giles. I'm really pleased that Giles did the sleep training. He cracked it. He really did the hard bit, because that, I think, was a very adult thing to do, and I think he grew in Liz's estimation hugely. I believe they're a very committed couple, and I believe they love their daughter very much, and I am absolutely impressed with Liz, who now completely understands that her overprotectiveness has actually been hampering her child's development.
Thank you very much for having us here in your house. What would we say?
That was very much in my eye.
We've learnt lots and lots. Stay here. You have to stay here, Alyssa. Come here. We've learnt that Alyssa doesn't particularly have lots of problems, but that lots of things that we're clinging on to have caused problems.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've learnt a lot about our relationship.
Yes.
And how to sort out little monkey.
Oh no, this is risk taking.
There she goes. Can you say bye-bye to Tanya?
Bye-bye, Tanya.
Wave, get down so she can see. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good girl. Come on.
Take care.
Thank you.
So, a week that's been a shock.
Yeah, it has.
But it's been fantastic. Great outcome. You're a fantastic family. You're fantastic parents. He's a great kid, and he'll be eating very soon, much, much more.
The Wilsons are on their way back home. Do you have any fears for them?
I had some concerns, but I do think within their relationship, Ian and Tina can really see the parallels in their own experiences, and I think have found an ability to communicate with each other in a way that doesn't feel frightening. And I think what has really booted up their confidence is the fact that they have become much more confident as parents. Their son, with very, very little work really, is now behaving like a toddler. He is beginning to explore new foods. He's put new foods in his mouth. He's stopped eating yogurt as his main diet. He will take whatever utensil is given to him. He is self-feeding, and the comfort blanket has gone.
We'd like to say a big bye and a big thank you to Tanya.
Thank you.
And it's been a very worthwhile experience, and it's especially helped us as well as Max. We'll go home stronger person,
Parents.
and we know we are good,
Yeah.
Mum and Dad.
Yep.
Bye!
It's the end of a very tough week for both the families and Tanya in the House of Tiny Tearaways. But will the hard work they've done here pay off back at home? In Tottenham, has Lisa gone back to her old ways?
No, I'm never gonna go back to how I was before. I'm a lot more confident with them, I'm a lot more calmer, and I appreciate them a lot more. I think they do know that Mummy's a lot happier now because I'm always praising them, hugging them. Are you a good boy now?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, ain't you? Now everybody's so positive with everything that they do. Communication's really good. They listen to me a lot now because I speak to them, the calm voice, and then obviously when I'm raising my voice, they know that, you know, Mummy means business now. I love bedtime now, and they sleep in their own beds as well, so that's thumbs up. I'm very proud of my boys, you know, just to see the smile on their face and how happy they are that Mummy's doing things with them. You know, I've changed for the better, and I'm enjoying my boys now, because as long as my boys are happy, I'm happy.
Back home in Wetherby, are the bedtime tantrums a thing of the past?
Putting her to bed now is a joy.
Mummy's not tired all the time anymore, is she?
It's happiness, it's smiles, it's cuddles.
Love you.
And no tantrums. And we're all walking around like Cheshire Cats now because it's like, look at us. Our daughter goes to bed.
Quite happily she'll play with me. That's what I've wanted from day one. I've got my quality time back with my daughter.
Before I went in the house, we were having some serious problems and possibly would have ended up splitting up. But now we're going to be together forever. I have a perfect child. Almost. Daddy's a lucky boy. You're a very good girl.
And in Nottingham with the Wilsons, it's dinner time, a happier place.
We both can sit down now, have a hot dinner each, and finish it in peace and quiet.
And no temper tantrums.
Yeah. Very good.
He'll feed himself. He don't use his blanket at the table no more. Max has calmed down on the youngest centre. He's still eating her, but not as much. And it is going to be a long process. We've had a good start since leaving the house.
Very good.
Very proud of Max now.
Our little superstar now.
Yeah. He's not bothered about getting dirty now, definitely not.
Mess is fun now, isn't it?
He will say mess is fun.
We work together as a couple now.
Family.
Family.
Next week on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
Now you stay there, just have a little look, have a little look. Oh, it flew. No, it's all right, darling. It's all right.
No, don't you bite me!
It must break your heart sometimes.
Yeah, but I definitely took my eye off the ball.